right, this is ready for step 4. This is the red model that I'm going to do right on top of the purple that you see. You can see the little purples already there. This baby's already dry, or all of them are already dry. This one has a little bit of too much purple, so we're going to rub that little cheeky spot off right there, down a little bit. It's not too bright. Alright, so we're going to use the same thinner, different bottle. I use different bottles for everything. So we're going to put some thinner in it. This stuff needs to be a lot thinner than the purple does. Otherwise it looks horrible and it just doesn't look good. This is quinacridone crimson number 1, if that's how you pronounce it. I'm just going to pretend that's how it says. So just a tiny touch of the liquid or the paint. I don't ever scoop or scrape. It's just I get the paintbrush wet and mix it up. Set that aside, away, so that nothing falls into it, because bright red paint in full strength looks like a bloody wound. Alright, so we're going to start backwards with these ones. We're going to start with Caleb this round. And I use my lid as a prop because I don't want the paint to all pool down. I don't want to dip it straight in the paint. So I'm going to cover the jar, and then I'm going to take some of the wet as it slides down the side of the jar. And then we're going to test it. And that is exactly perfect. Just a soft pink. And we're going to do that on all the pieces, just like we did with the purple. As you run out of paint, make sure you swirl your paint in your jar and get a fresh batch. Never dip it straight into the wettest stuff, or it's going to leave a big drippy mess. I think that's my finger must have touched that little red spot. I don't want to wipe it, so I'm just going to tap it until it lightens up. On normal human, like the normal newborn sized ones, this is about the only 2 layers you need, depending upon the coloring you're going for. Sometimes if you're going for a redhead, there's more colors. If you're going for ethnic, there's a lot more colors, but on average, you can get away with these 2 colors of model, and then you go on to layers to get the rest of your color. I don't want too bold of models on top of the face because I don't want it to look glaringly model-y on the face. The rest of the limbs are going to be okay, but the face we want to be soft and smooth. Alright, so we're going to go to the palest coloring next. And it's still a good color for this vinyl. And these colors, as we build up your models, it's going on top of another color, so it kind of smears a little bit and blends in with the color behind it. And that's kind of what we want to do. That's where you're adding your own depth to it. Gentle with your sponging with paintbrushes. I don't want to take off the models altogether. I just want to smooth them a little bit. Alright, so that's color number 2 with the pink model, and then baby number 3. And even this is a good model. It's already looking really real and really nice. It's interacting with the veins underneath and the purple underneath, and it looks so cool. I try to stay off the lips, but if a little bit gets on there, that's okay. It just gives you a better palette to start with when you don't have tons of color already on your lips. Alright, so those are our 3 color skin tones with the purple underneath with the pink on top. You can see there's a whole big difference just going by the basic color of vinyl they start with. Alright, so I'm going to do a limb of one color, or an arm of one color and a leg of another, just so you can see the steps for your limbs. Try to stay off your nail beds as well. You can get all the pieces and parts underneath on the palm of the hand, but try to stay off your nail beds. It makes the nail beds cleaner looking when it's time to paint those. Again, I always start from the hands or the feet and work my way up. That way I'm not out of control. If you start here and go down, by the time you get down here, you're going to be bouncing your sponge around and the kit's going to be flopping, and you're just going to not have as much control over it. This little thing is something that I bought off of Amazon. I think when we searched it, it was under like a plate holder or a dish rack holder. I think it was like $7 or $8 off of Amazon with the Prime shipping. And it makes an amazing drying rack for your pieces and parts. This one holds 3 sets of limbs on it, and your heads are set on the side. So this is the lightest colored vinyl on the limb. You're going to do everywhere, starting from the feet up. The little legs on Maya are going to be a little more tricky than this because she's got such a bend in her legs. But again, you just do the best you can, and be careful when you get to that back section so that you're not wiping paint off as you're putting more paint on. I'll do that one of her legs really quick, one of these little tiny squishy ones. Get right up in there underneath. Sorry about the beeping. We have a baby that's cooking. Well, not anymore. She's done cooking. After this layer, I will be putting her in the oven and cooking these 2 layers on before I start any of the wash layers. So I'll take a short video of placing her in the oven in a few minutes after all this dries. Okay, so I'm going to catch all of these pieces and parts up so that they're all with the same layers. Right now these 3 have it and the rest don't. You can see the difference in their color